Welcome everyone to the very first episode of Off the Record. So let me explain what Off the Record is all about. This is like a late night version of my YouTube videos. So expect to hear lots of personal opinion about Etsy, lots of personal experiences with my job, with working with all my clients in their Etsy stores. Some controversial stuff. I'm going to be talking from the heart as well as the head, explaining things about Etsy. Sometimes it's not going to make sense to you. Sometimes it might seem counterintuitive. I know that I've got 3 or 4 people already that comment on most of my videos that just disagree with what I'm saying. And the point that I want to raise here is that no disrespect to anyone who has an Etsy store or who has an opinion about Etsy. The one thing that they don't have that I do have is I've worked on thousands of Etsy stores across all niches. So I've got this viewpoint or lens into the world of Etsy that nobody else has. Certainly pretty much nobody watching my content on YouTube. And that allows me to see things and understand things that you guys can't see. That's just how it is. It's just because I've got the vantage point of years of working on thousands of stores to see it. So Off the Record is a chance for me to let loose a bit and tell you some stuff that you probably don't know and should be interesting. The very first episode today, I can't wait for it. I know I've been asked so many times since I opened my YouTube channel about Etsy ads. So today's episode 1, is Etsy ads exposed. And I'm going to talk to you about the reality of Etsy ads. Let's get into it. I've got several points to get through and they should all be really interesting for you. Let's go. So the first thing I want to do is a bit of a Etsy ads history lesson. Prior to February 2020, some of you will know this, some of you won't know this, Etsy ads used to be called promoted listings. Promoted listings was everyone's favorite advertising tool because it was so cheap to run. You could do cost per click, so you could tell Etsy how much you wanted to spend on your listings advertising per click. So every click would be 10 cents, 2 cents, whatever you wanted to sell it to, all the way down to 1 cent. And it was a common thing in the Etsy forums that, people would say, how much do you spend on advertising with promoted listings? And people would say, oh, I spend $1 a day. I spend $2 a day and I make $10, $20 for every dollar that I spend. These incredible advertising returns were regular occurrences when people used to talk about promoted listings on Etsy. And Etsy decided in 2020 that needed to change. And of course, the change was money. They thought there's more money to be made here out of advertising, and promoted listings, the sellers, we can control how much we spend and control the cost per click. They didn't like that. They didn't like losing out on more revenue. You take away control from Etsy ads at the seller level, you take away control, you can make more money. So Etsy decided to change it to Etsy ads. So it used to be promoted listings. February 2020, they announced that the change is going to be Etsy ads, and we're all going to be part of the Etsy ad system, and it went live around May 2020. And the critical thing, the context to understand here is Etsy only did it for one reason, and that was to make them more money. So whereas your advertising spend of $1 a day, $2 a day, that was normal. That was a normal spend, $3, $4. Most people were just spending that on Etsy promoted listings before May 2020. After May 2020, when we all started to get switched over to Etsy ads, that is not regular at all. Now they've shifted your advertising spend up. So now regular, I'm working with clients every day, as you know, every week, every month, and the spends that I see for Etsy ads, normal is 5 minimum. 5, 10, 15, 20. The numbers have gone way up. Etsy is making so much more money out of Etsy ads than they did out of promoted listings. And as you're going to see, it's not a massively fair playing field. And I don't agree with the things they've done with Etsy ads. And I'll explain those things I don't agree with. And Etsy's answer is it's industry standard. So it's totally normal. That's what's going on. We're going to do it. Bottom line is, by following industry standard, that makes them more money. Doesn't make you more money. The seller who's using Etsy ads, it makes Etsy more money. So let's get into it. Let's get into all the bits that really frustrate me about Etsy ads. And notice nobody really talks about Etsy ads. Nobody really talks about Etsy ads because it's not very good. Etsy ads, broadly speaking, most sellers I work with don't make money on Etsy ads. I do see sellers that do make money. I'm not going to say it's not possible to make profit with Etsy ads. Yes, you can, but it's much more difficult than it seems, because you've got to work out, are you actually making any money? So I see clients all the time and they say, oh yeah, we spent $10 to make 30. So your return on advertising spend is 3. And I'm like, are you sure you're making money? Oh yeah. Have you factored in cost of product, cost of packaging, shipping, time? And then when you go into it, no, you realize these sellers realize they're not making any money. And this is the fundamental issue with it. You've really got to sit there and do your sums to work out if you're making money or not. Let's get into the issues I've got with Etsy ads, and we'll see what you think about this. So the first massive problem I've got with Etsy ads, and I don't know if you've realized this or not, but Etsy ads only tracks 2 years worth of data. So you can only go back 2 years to see how your ads have performed. And I think this is absolutely criminal. If you're paying a company to do advertising for you, you need access to the data full time. You can't gauge seasonality. You can't gauge any long-term data trends on 2 years. Your store, you might start Etsy ads when you open the store. Well, the first year you're just growing, you're just getting stuff together. And then it's the second year, and that's when you start to settle down and get things going. And then the data disappears. We're paying a lot of money now for Etsy ads, and to have a 2-year data window, I think is absolutely shocking. It should be lifetime, mandatory lifetime. We are paying for that data. This isn't just organic search results, which is, by the way, your organic history is lifetime, isn't it? You can go into your shop manager and see lifetime stats. But you can't for Etsy ads, something that we pay for. That's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Makes it very, very difficult to make accurate business decisions about the money you're spending with Etsy ads. That's my first issue. So my second issue, and this is even worse, is there's no cost per click. They've taken away your ability to set how much you want to spend per click on each product. So now your spending goes into a sealed bidding system. So you've got no idea. This is the truth. This is the truth. You have no idea how Etsy is spending your money. They say it's a bidding system and they will optimize and they will do this and they will do that. Truth is, you don't know. That's the fact of the matter. You've got no idea. They could be doing whatever they wanted with these sealed bids. You don't know. You don't know what they're up to. And not having cost per click is not having control. Not having control makes it easier for Etsy to spend your money. And believe me, they will. I regularly see people with advertising budgets of 40, 50, 100 and more dollars a day. And mostly, not always, but mostly, they're spending that money. They're spending that money, and I'm seeing just poorly performing advertising ads accounts. Most I see are poorly performing. Get into my comments. Tell me how your ads, your return on advertising spend is, and tell me how it's going for you. Most of the people I see, most of the clients I work with, they struggle with Etsy ads. They struggle with it partly because obviously sometimes they need to do SEO work because their SEO is terrible. Etsy ads, by the way, runs on SEO. So if your SEO is terrible, then your ads aren't going to work. And then, of course, you need decent photography, decent video to convert people once they see your ad. So, yeah, I mostly see bad examples of Etsy ads. Occasionally, I work with stores that do $10,000 a month, $20,000, $30,000 a month, and their advertising is poor. So it's not that the store's not functioning or people don't want the stuff. Oh, yes, they do. Their ads aren't functioning. I'm working with a client at the moment. They're doing $20,000, $25,000 a month. They are losing $5,000 in ads out of that $20,000, $25,000. And obviously my job's to fix it and sort it out, which is obviously what I'm doing. They didn't even realize, they didn't even know that was going on. And that I see a lot. Sellers having no idea how much money they're losing. They don't even understand what ROAS, return on advertising spend, is. They really don't. I've dealt with hundreds of clients like this, and it scares me. Clients that lose $5,000 a month, and they don't even know. And I'm saying, hey guys, we need a meeting. You are losing a ton of money. And I don't know what it is about the Etsy ad system. It does tell you cost, profit. You can see the ROAS. I mean, you've got to change the view, the crappy view that they give you to start with. Yeah, okay, you don't see it. And I guess that means for some people, they just don't see it if they don't look. But once you change the view, the information, it is there to tell you. But there seems to be this sort of, I don't know, brainwashing. Most people have no idea they're losing money. Very, very strange. Let's move on to the next point. So the third and final point I want to make about Etsy ads, and this is the worst. The other two things are really bad, but this one is unacceptable. Etsy use this third point because they say it's industry standard and everybody's doing it. But that doesn't make it okay. This third thing is not okay. I don't think it's acceptable. Let me explain it to you. So, you're running Etsy ads, someone sees one of your ads in the search results, they put their keywords in, they see your item, they click on it, but they decide not to buy. Okay, so they click on the product, they look at it and they go away and they do something else. You've paid for that click 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents, whatever. You didn't make a sale. Okay, the customer who clicked on your ad then has 30 days, 30 a month, to come back into Etsy, find your shop or find a product, any product from your shop, make a purchase, and then that revenue you've earned is attributed to the ad click that person made up to 30 days ago. So do you see how the statistics aren't clear? It shouldn't be a 30-day window. That's not acceptable. 7 days is probably too much. I think it should be 48 hours, 72 hours, couple of days, 2-3 days, fair enough. But you can't attribute, someone might have clicked on, say, a bracelet or something cheap. And then a month later, when it's closer to Christmas, come back, found your store through another listing or through whatever, any means that they use in the Etsy platform, found your store, decided to buy 4 times the amount of products. Okay, that's good for you. You've made the sales. But it's not attributable to the click. It's too far away. Too much other stuff has happened. And I don't think it's fair to have this massive 30-day window. It's ridiculous. That's a month. where Etsy can say, yes, you made this money. No, I disagree. If it's 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, yeah, okay. Not 30. It's a loose, long time frame, and it skews the numbers. For me, it makes you think you're doing better than you really are, and I don't think the 30-day window is acceptable. Get into my comments, tell me what you think. Say, Nick, no, I disagree, or I do agree, or whatever your thought is on this 30-day window, because I don't think it's acceptable, and it's not okay. But you let me know what you think and your reasoning behind what you think. Let me conclude this first off the record now with Etsy Ads Exposed. I want to be clear. Most of you using Etsy ads aren't going to make money. Not all of you, most of you. I've seen so many, hundreds and hundreds of stores losing on Etsy ads. And even people think that they're making money and they're not. So if you're making, go and look at your stats. If you've done $1,000, it cost them $3,000 in revenue for your Etsy ads, don't assume you're making money. Don't assume you're making money. Dig into your figures, dig into the costs, work it out. 3 to 1 often means you're not making money. My baseline that I give clients when I'm talking about Etsy ads is 4 to 1. So if you've got a ROAS of $4 profit to $1 spend, you might be making profit. It depends on your business model. If it's print on demand, you probably aren't making money. If it's a product that you source and make yourself or design and sell, maybe you're making money. 6 to 1 is safe. Generally speaking, $6 profit to every dollar spent is safe. And I would use that as a margin to be safe when you're looking through your figures and working out, well, am I making money here or not? 6 to 1 is really safe, but you know you're probably safe. 4 to 1 is getting dodgy. 3 to 1, you might not be making money. Go and have a look at your stats. Tell me in the comments what your ROAS is. How many dollars are you making profit per dollar spend? Yes, so Etsy ads is difficult. It's not a very good system. I'm wholeheartedly say that straight away. I don't support Etsy ads massively. It's problematic. It's clunky. Most of my clients don't make money. They lose money. So tell me your Etsy ads story. I hope you enjoyed this. Tell me what you thought of the first episode of Off the Record. There's more coming. I've got some controversial topics coming. And I look forward to doing probably 2 of these a month. So let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching. Cheers.